The Slavonic Josephus, extra material. At that time there appeared a man, and many of the people followed and listened to his teachings. And many souls were aroused, thinking that by him the Jewish tribes would free themselves from the hands of the Romans. They bade him enter the city, kill the Roman troops and Pilate, and reign over these. When news of this came to the Jewish leaders, they assembled to the chief priests and said, "We are powerless and too weak to oppose the Romans. Let us go and inform Pilate what we have heard, and we shall be free of anxiety. If at some time Pilate shall hear this from others, we shall be deprived of our property, ourselves slaughtered, and our children exiled." And they went and informed Pilate.
Notes on the Slavonic Josephus. The Slavonic Josephus dates vary, possibly as early as the 9th or as late as the 14th century. There are some who think the Slavonic was not the original translation of the source, a rolling text with interpolations, but perhaps with original content of Josephus that was not preserved by Christian scribes. Perhaps this later Slavonic translation preserved some material from a much earlier translation from Greek or Aramaic that did not survive. The false pen of the scribes has made it into a lie. Jeremiah. What the two passages of Origen do show is that whatever Origen read in his Josephus edition cannot have been the extant text of that famous passage with its orthodox Christian wording, but quite a different text hostile to Jesus and the Christians, and really in the Emperor Vespasian, that the expectations of the Jews found their fulfillment. This amounts to saying that there is no proof of the existence of the famous testimony before the time when Christianity as a state religion was able to suppress all writings hostile to its founder or its teachings, a power officially conferred upon it by an edict of Constantine and reenacted by the emperors Theodosius and Valentinian after the brief pagan revival under Julian. Naturally, a party possessing the power to destroy obnoxious books will ipso facto be in a position to enforce minor omissions and alterations in works in which only individual passages were felt to be objectionable. It is equally clear that owners of valuable manuscripts, whether private individuals, book vendors, or officials in libraries and synagogues, should have preferred the excision of a few lines or certain alterations to the alternative of seeing their treasures devoured by the flames. Add to this the loss involved in the destruction of a whole Josephus in manuscript and the laws imposing capital punishment on the concealed possession of writings hostile to Christianity, and the natural consequence will be obvious to everyone. As a matter of fact, not a single Greek, Latin, Slavonic, or other Josephus text has come down to us which has not passed through the hands of Christian scribes and Christian owners. The numerous glosses and marginal notes abounding in every single manuscript fully bear out this statement. What should be stressed here is the Portuguese Jewish physician and philosopher Abraham Zacuto Lusitano argument that the testimonium interrupts the logical sequence of the text and must therefore be considered an interpolation. The same, Rabbi, the other tumult pointeth to the first. The matter calls for some elucidation. In the portion of the text containing inter alia, the testimonium, there is a mention of two calamities. Having finished with the first, Josephus adds these words, "And so the riot, stasis, ceased." The second, described in chapter 5, he connects with the first, saying, "And about the same time another calamity disturbed the Jews," etc.